I just want to get this book right out of the way because I miss a Sunday and I'm trying not to miss any more Sundays. It's just nice. I know how my brain works. If I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it later. That's why I try to do things now. And I hate when people tell me now and tell me do it later because what is later than me? Because honestly, once I get on a roll of something, I generally forget anything that's not quite quote unquote important to me, and importance and all this and all that all work different. Either way, back to the book that this one I actually found off work. Most of the books that I was reading, yet again, I probably found off work. And I can't even remember. No, I didn't even find this off a job. I remember I was cleaning the shop and I saw this book. I'm like, oh, this looks easy and quick to read, as well as the kid book, which is what I'm trying to go for. So, words are not for hurting. I swear I grew up in a world where were used for hurting, but hey, everybody's different. So this time around, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read the words and then I'm gonna show you the pages because I still don't know my method to my madness quite yet. Words are not for hurting. Elizabeth Verdict, illustrated by Marika Henelin. I do apologize if I pronounce these incorrectly. And I'm not even using the phone I typically use to record these. Oh, they got nice smiles. Typically use my pink phone. I'm using this one, mainly because it's the one that was in my hand at the moment. That's literally my method to my madness. Whichever one's in my hand has a space I'm using. If this ends up cutting off because of space, I'm gonna get a little bit pissy and then get my other phone and probably do it off that. Or finish it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Either way, I'm gonna get it done. For my children, Olivia and Zachary, every day you teach me more about love and patience, and you always make me smile. I feel like it's the biggest thing kids teach people, patience. If not disabled people. If not tough people to deal with. Either way. Back to the point. For my mother and father, whose words of encouragement helped me believe in myself. So one was done by MH and one was done by Evie. So I think one was done by an illustrated person, which is Elizabeth Verdict, and then the other one was done by one was done by a writer, one was done by illustrators. What I was trying to get out. Thoughts aren't working right now. Dear parents and caregivers, children are known for saying whatever comes to mind. Their words, so often funny, surprising, and insightful, are a window into their feelings. I'll never forget when my own daughter, at age 4, was eating her first ice cream sundae and announced with excitement, "Every day should be a hot fudge sundae, even Saturday." This little nugget of wisdom still makes me laugh. There are times, though, when we hear children saying something mean or hurtful. They might tease another child, for example, or make unkind comments about someone's appearance. Can you give me an example? They might shout or even swear. What's behind these words? Often feelings of anger, sadness, rejection, confusion, or fear. Just like adults, children may lash out with a raised voice or hurtful words. All of us, young and old alike, can learn to choose our words wisely. We can think before we speak and make an effort to use words that convey kindness and respect. Most important, we can apologize when something we've said has hurt someone else. Those two little words, "I'm sorry," are sometimes so hard for us to say. Mainly if you have a huge ego and you can't ever see yourself as doing the wrong. Back to the point. But the more we practice, the better we get at it. And those two little words can make it all the difference. There's apologizing and then there's an enacting the apologize. To say I'm sorry and then to stop doing it. So to say I'm sorry and continue doing it means you don't mean it. But to say I'm sorry and stop doing it means you actually mean it. Just because I know the book, there's many words, but what's the context to it? I'm here to fill in the context behind the words. Now, is it what they truly mean? No, I'm reading this book. Most importantly, P.S. On page 28 and 32, you'll find activities, discussion starters, and other resources that reinforce the message of using helpful, not hurtful words. I need this book when I was growing up. I used to say anything and everything. I didn't care what it was. If it made sense, I'm saying it. I didn't show that photo page. I like this. Okay, they got real cool with that. Okay, so this is what this one looks like. It's gonna be boozy. I'm projecting 30 to 45 minutes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Did you know it takes only 26 letters to make millions of words? No. Is it only millions? Could it be billions? Could it be billions? It probably is billions. I don't know. Oh, also some of the words, the teacher's helping the kid spell his name. I'm assuming it's his name, Ben, or spelling a name. And then the girl and the kid are spelling car on the table. Oh, also they spelled Pam and Judy. I don't know if they did on purpose. Some words are super short. Hi, bye, no, yes. Don't forget, DOG. It's the page I read. I didn't read this page yet, but I'm going to show you just because I already whipped it. Some words are really long. Thingamajig, maybe. Mississippi, abracadabra, and some are just plain silly. Wiggly jiggly. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Wiggly jiggly. I feel like it's the first time. I should close that last. Back to the point. Words help you say lots of important things like, I love you. That's all on that page. Thank you for helping me. You're welcome. I haven't read a lot of kids' books, but I'm already impressed with the inclusion in this. I love it already. If you don't know what I mean, then you never need to worry about it. But if you know what I mean, you know exactly what I mean. Sometimes your words are loud. Ready or not, here I come. And sometimes your words are soft. Shh. Sometimes your words are funny. Knock, knock. Who's there? Sometimes you even sing them. La, 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 la. La, la. Actually, I could have just done with that. La, la. Tell me it ain't the same thing. La, 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 la. I ain't even smoked yet. I just woke up. This is me just being me. Your words belong to you. You choose what to say and how to say. Notice how I switched. You choose what to say and how to say. Your words can hurt or your words can help. Your choice. You got weapons up in this. Use this esophagus correctly. How am I going to display this message or I'm going to destroy it? I don't know. I didn't flipping show it, Ethan. I didn't show it. Did I even show the last page? I know I showed the family. Just in case I didn't show this page, I do apologize. I'm a scatterbrain that does his best. Sometimes it's applaudable, and sometimes it's, at this big age of yours, how dare you? Hey, I don't pedophile, I don't molest, I don't kidnap, I don't human traffic, so it's not bad. I ain't even that bad. I'm bad at being bad. Back to the point. These are helpful words. Let's work together. Do you want to share this with me? I'm glad we're friends. We can take turns. Words are extremely helpful, although some people might use words to manipulate you. But this isn't the book about that. Oh, there should be a kid's book, Words for Manipulation. If there isn't, well, if I read enough of these, maybe I might learn how to do these. These are hurtful words. You can't play with us. I've definitely heard that. Your clothes are ugly. I've heard that too. You're stupid. I've heard that too. Get out of here. I've heard that. I think I've heard all these words. Oh my word. Oh my word. This reminds me of my childhood. Ooh. You never grow out of it, for the record, kids. When you say hurtful words, how do you feel? Like when I say them or I get them said to me. Because when I say them, I don't like to say hurtful words, unless they're honest. And even then, I still don't like to say them. And people typically tell me, Ethan, you should figure out a nicer way to say it. But I'm like, it's honest. And they're like, but Ethan, what if somebody said that to you? And I'd be like, but I would understand it. But I also have to realize not everybody thinks like I do. So therefore, I do something like that to figure out nicer ways to say mean things. But it's still true. But I don't have to be that mean when I say it. But to the point. Maybe you feel sorry and wish you hadn't said them. I rarely feel sorry that I said them. I feel upset that I upset them because I should have used better words. Like, come on, Ethan, what do I do all this reading for if I can't use better words? Sometimes I speak for effectiveness and sometimes I speak for entertainment. What's the difference? You'll figure it out. Or maybe never, I don't know. There's something you can do. You can take them back. Like this. I shouldn't have said those things. I didn't mean it. An apology is an apology. And when you say I shouldn't have said those things and I don't mean it, that means don't say them again when you're upset. Sometimes people will say that, put a band-aid over it, and stab the exact same spot. Like, oh, that's where you were hurt, my bad. That's the point. Here are two other words you can say. I'm sorry. Those two little words can be a big help. We need an adult version of this. Like, these kids are handling this so much better than adults. 1,000%, 1,000,000,000%, a quadrillion, a trillion. I don't know how much higher I can go. I'm running out of numbers and words. When you hear hurtful words, what can you do? You can say, words are not for hurting. Please don't say those things. As an adult, that might get you punched in the face. But also it might teach you how smart the group is, because if they get angry, then clearly they're not that smart to understand it. And if they don't get angry, then maybe they might change their ways, or they just might clown you behind your back. Either way, back to the book. Or you can tell a grown That's funny. Or you could tell a grown up, he's teasing me. Can you help? Oh, he probably likes you. Oh, he has a crush on you. Oh, don't play over there. They're not. Not all grown-ups are this grown-up. Not all grown-ups are the grown-ups I experience. Not all grown-ups are all grown-ups. Every grown-up is different. Some people might actually go above and beyond to make sure you are okay. And some people just might say they're going to do their best, but just walk the other way as soon as you walk the other way. So be mindful of that. But God, if you understand everything I'm saying and you're a child, you're just having a child time and an adult experience is what I'm understanding from somebody that had a child time and an adult experience. Back to the word. Did I show that page? The illustration's so cool. Even if I show it twice, who cares? This shit's I ain't got no complaints. Your words are important. They actually are. If you think before you speak, you can use your words well. I think so fucking fast. It takes only 26 letters to make millions of words. Millions of words. 26. So you've got lots of words to choose from. Unless you already have limited vocabulary because you don't read, you don't listen, you don't partake in any other English activities, and you stay fostered into a certain group that only speaks like this, then yeah, you could have millions of words, or you could have thousands of words, or you could have tens of words, or you could have hundreds of words. I'm trying to have more than millions. I'm trying to have billions of words. You can tell this to yourself and to others. Words are not for hurting. Tell it to yourself more than others. Or you can tell it to others, because then it'll help you keep away from others that you don't like and that don't like you because you act different than they want to be acted around and all this, all that. Back to the point. It's a good reminder for everyone. Woof. Still, inclusion. Yeah. I wonder if they write more kids' books. Oh my, this is the most reading I'll ever do. Oh my god. It's the last 4 pages. I'm gonna show you this first because it'll take me a minute. I hate this. It's not that I necessarily hate this. I just feel like it's like a lot of word vomit, and I gotta actually focus and read and do this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm gonna try to make this quick. I'm gonna try to make it legible and all this, all that. So, how we use words. Communication explanation. Talk to children about what communication means. When we communicate, we use our words to say something someone else. We use our words to say something to someone else. Every day we use words in so many ways, both spoken and written. Talk about how we use words to greet others, tell stories, sing songs, ask questions, and much more. Fun with words. Have children use words in creative ways. If some of the children speak a second language, ask them to teach a few new words to the other kids. Okay. Smart. Count to 10 or higher in another language, or talk about words that rhyme, words that are silly, or words that are very short or long. Have the children imagine a word without words what would it be? Like if we couldn't communicate with each other verbally. If you had to, like, put the word slap together, I don't know, but isn't onomatopoeia the word of a sound? Either way, I don't know. Back to the point, folks, Ethan. Signs and symbols. Talk about ways we use special signs, symbols, and gestures to communicate. For example, there are signs for hello, a wave. Peace, a peace sign formed with 2 fingers or written as a symbol, and love, blowing a kiss or writing X's and O's. American Sign Language, ASL, is the fourth most used language in the United States today. English, Spanish, Chinese, and ASL. This isn't 100% true. It's my guesstimation because I know a lot of American speakers. I know there's a lot of Spanish shit written on paperwork, stuff like that, as well as America wouldn't be America. America wouldn't be America without immigrants. And if you think, oh, go back to your country, America was founded by immigrants. Go back to Britain, motherfuckers. Back to the point. This kid's book, Ethan. Back to the point. So it's either English, Chinese, Spanish, and then ASL. I guess it's the top four. I don't know about. I know English is number one, easily, no doubt in my mind. The 2 and 3 are questionable if they switch spots, but number 4 is already told in this book. Actually, assuming that's updated, I don't know. I don't know how these things are. I just start reading. That's the point. Is the fourth most used language in the United States today. Talk with children about how this language or gestures and hand symbols can express words and concepts. Learn the gesture for I love you and practice it together for a sign language resource. What was I love you again? I think it was that. It says point towards your eye, your heart, and then point towards them. But I'm pretty sure there's another way because I'm not versed in American Sign Language. I'm not versed in a lot of languages, to be honest. Only English. I'm a technician with this shit, believe it or not, because English is my second language. I speak it so well. Oh, page 32 is for sign language resources. Huh. And practice it together for a sign language resource. See page 32. Talking without words. What your face says. This be saying a whole lot. Help children understand that we talk with more than our mouth. Our face also sends messages about what we are thinking or feeling. Invite children to make faces that match the feelings you introduce. Happy, sad, mad, scared, or excited. Using a hand mirror, give each child a chance to look at himself or herself, make an expressive face. Ask others in the group how the child is feeling. And why don't I ever remember this in elementary? Yeah, it seems so helpful. Face. Ask others in the group how the child is feeling and how his or her face shows it. To connect this activity to words are not for hurting. Discuss how facial expressions can be hurtful or helpful. Ask children how they would feel if someone scowled at them and said, "You can't play with us." Next, talk about ways they could help someone who's wearing a sad or scared expression. Try to notice whenever children are doing a good job of reading others. What schools are these going to? Because if this is like, I feel like this is one of the books that are getting banned. And this absolutely upsets me because why? I could be 100% wrong. I'm making a lot of assumptions while reading this book. What your body says. Introduce the idea of body language by explaining how our actions and gestures may do the talking for us. Demonstrate some body language yourself. Lower your head to show that you're feeling sad or shy. Stomp your foot to show anger. Shrug shoulders to suggest that you're unsure. Take a step backwards and you'll hold your arms inwards to show fear. I don't know, this seems standoffish to me. Maybe like this. I don't know. Back to the point. Backwards and hold your arms inwards to show fear. Next, point out the reading. Someone's body language and facial expressions can let you know how the person's feeling. If you wish, turn to pages 4 to 5 or 12 to 13, and words are not for hurting, which show children and adults using different body language. Ask what each person might be thinking or feeling. Invite volunteers to show how they might respond to these feelings in helpful ways. What your mind says. Ask children to think about how they talk to themselves. Inside their head, is there a voice saying kind and positive? You trying to get the kids to go to the psych ward? Is there a voice in your head, little Charlie? We got one. Is there a voice in your head, little Antoine? We got one. Is there a voice in your head, Cindy? I don't know. She was smarter than the boys. Guess we got the boys then. That's the point. Things like you can do it, and that's a good try. My head does not say positive things like that. Or is there a voice saying negative things like you always do things wrong? No, I feel like my voice just highlights either patterns, thinks of fucked up jokes. I need to stop swearing in kids' books, Ethan. Says messed up jokes. Creates false narratives, creates real life narratives, creates false memories, remembers real memories, and then tries to figure out how to. Not for a kid's video, Ethan. Back to the point. Where did I leave off with this? What your mind says, avoid saying negative things like you always do things wrong. Talk about how the words inside your own head can be hurtful or helpful. When we tell ourselves something positive, I will try my hardest, we feel stronger and we're more likely to succeed than if we tell ourselves, I better not try. I better not try since I might fail. Help each child think of one positive message to use throughout the day, such as, I can do it, or I can give it a try. I'll do my best even if they're angry. Because somebody's going to be angry at some point or another, regardless if it's you or somebody else. Back to the point. Positive ways to use words. Okay. Feelings. Words. Children can learn to recognize their feelings and put their emotions into words. Once they have words for their own feelings, children are better able to recognize and respond to the feelings of others. There was no comma, Ethan. Talk about words that describe how we feel. Happy, sad, cranky, angry. Actually, the word was mad. I just said angry. Creative mind. Mad. Mad, mad, mad. That's what the word says, Ethan. Worried, lonely, surprised, nervous, excited, sleepy, energetic. And I should have went through all those emotions. Let's go back. Mad, worried. I don't know how to express lonely. I ain't got no roommates. Is that lonely? Surprised, nervous, excited, sleepy, energetic, and so on. To reinforce lessons in what your face says and what your body says, act out some of the emotions. Using clear facial expressions and body language, have the children act out telling someone else how they feel. I am sad. I feel so excited. Or I am angry. Polite words. Good manners help children treat others with kindness and respect. Point out that please and thank you are among the most helpful words that people use. Honestly, just by saying please or thank you, even to adults that sometimes don't even care about using please and thank you, that is an icebreaker. It is a make or break situation if you just add in a please or thank you. Or one thing I learned from doing the job that I currently do, one of these people, he always says, I appreciate you. And I don't know why, but that just hits a little bit hard. It's like, I appreciate you. And I'm just like, nah, that's his word. But I know I always go off in tangents either way, but do you know the great steal from other great people? So if you want to be great, find somebody that's great and just take their shit. I'm just saying, like, they become great off of true and always pure inspiration. As they were growing up, they realized, oh, this person generally knows what they're doing. And let me adapt that to my life too. Back to the point. Good manners help children treat others with kindness and respect. Point out the please and thank you among the most helpful words that people use to help children understand the importance of polite words. Give them examples of not using them. Get off the swings! Versus, may I please have a turn on the swings? That sentence was all restructured. It wasn't just because of the whole entire please part. Get off the swings, please. Still sounds rude, for the record. Just in case it wasn't made. May I please have a turn on the swings? Talk about how it feels to do something nice for someone else, but not... Talk about how it feels to do something nice for someone else, but not hear the words thank you afterwards, or ask children how it would feel if someone bumped into them. hard but never said excuse me or sorry. Practice saying polite words. Compliment children whenever you overhear them using good manners. All right, so I have a lot of stories. I can't quite think of a particular one at the current moment of times I've assisted people and things that they've either asked me to or I just went on my way to. Now, I've come to learn in my experiences, don't go all your way to help people do things that they didn't ask you to do, because at the end of the day, they don't owe you shit, which is true, especially if they didn't ask you. So if you want to help, by all means, do what you believe is best inside your chest, as long as it doesn't hurt others, as long as it doesn't demean others, as long as it doesn't take other people's freedoms and rights away, because, well, I did what was best for me. You are the reason why Hitler committed his acts of tyranny. I'm reading kids' books. They're not gonna understand that joke. Maybe, I don't know. Back to the point. So I can't even think of a pinpointed one, so I'm just gonna ballpark one that's probably half made up and half actual real. So there's times I've helped customers clear out their garage, house, all this, all that, and I know and well aware it's a paid service, all this, all that, but still a thank you, please, all that. Like, kindness should just always be implemented, no matter where you're at. If you have to interact with other people, be kind. If you're only interacting with yourself, be as rude as you want to yourself, because shit, you know who you are. That's the point. But you should also be nice to yourself. Should also probably left it there. But customers, I want to say, let's say we fill the truck. There's times that I've been completely exhausted and like can't speak, and like when my head gets hot, my words do not work for schnikes. And she's like, and there's times that the jobs could take it anywhere between all day to about freaking couple hours to even full house clear out. No, I think the fastest I've ever cleaned out a house was anywhere between 48 minutes to about an hour. And I say it like that because it was all furniture and all one floor. So if it's like that, light work. But life is simply but a dream, but I don't remember my dreams. So there's times that customers have been over the top, just about crying, like, I don't know how I was gonna do this. Oh my god, you guys are heroes. Thank you very much. Oh, did I tip you guys enough? Oh, I'd love to tip you guys more. What else can I do? Y'all were amazing. There's sometimes customers were like, all right, leave. Bye. I'm about to leave. And that's just it. They're just like, your services are done. I'm not expecting y'all to, kids, Ethan, I'm not expecting y'all to be all over me and stuff like that, but at least like a thank you. That's weird. I guess it makes sense if you live right there. I'm not even trying to people stalk right now. I'm just doing an accident. Back to the point. Read the book, finish the book. This is being longer than I need it to be. Back to the point. Polite words. Good manners help children treat others with kindness. Yes. And respect points out the pleasing. I already read this part. Tone of voice. That is very crucial, at least to me, I believe. It's not always what you say, it's how you say it. Like, I love you. I love you. I love you. That's the point. Many children already know the difference between indoor and outdoor voice. Constant time, I had to be reminded the difference. Oh, people are mad at me. That's the point. Outdoor voices have learned to use a quieter voice while inside, yet they may need to help understanding. The subtle lesson of how our tone of voice can make a difference in how others interpret and respond to our words. To give children an example of how this works, you might use a loud, demanding tone of voice and say, "It's my turn to go first." You always go first, and it's not fair. You always go first, and it's not fair. Talk about how someone who hears words like these might feel. Next, say the words in a slightly different way and in a gentle tone of voice. It's my turn to go first. Now. It's my turn to go first now. You went first last. You went first last time. And it's only fair that I get a chance to T-O-O. Ask the children how they feel when they hear the words spoken in this way. I can't pause this for it. I gotta read this more. Explain how we sound plays a big part in what we actually communicate to others. This is why I need my pink phone. I ain't making this mistake twice. Because I'm committed. I'm basically done with this book, so I can't even take a break if I want to talk about it. You may want to discuss some of the concepts introduced in words are not for hurting. Your words belong to your words belong to you, and think before you speak. Ask children what they think these concepts mean. Talk about how our words come from our head and our heart. Some people's words come from the head. Some people's words come from the heart. And some people's words come from their posterior. Be mindful of that. Oh, also posterior means bum. Bum means rear. Rear means butt. Butt means butt. The things that you sit on. Where the fuck did I leave off? Head and heart. That's where I left off. I just don't know where it is. Nope, too far. You may want to discuss talk about words from your head and your heart. We use words to express how we think and feel, and this is why our words are ours. Each one of us chooses what to say and how to say it. Yet it isn't uncommon for children to try to blame someone else for something hurtful they've said. Adults do this too, not just children. For example, you might hear an excuse like, Andre told me to say it, or she said it first. Talk about how each person must take responsibility for what he or she says. Let me reread that. Talk about how each person must take responsibility for what he or she says. Talk about how each person must take responsibility for what he or she says. This is far bigger than kids, because adults do the exact same BS. So I don't know who's going to be watching this. I might be the only one watching this. So either way, I said what I said 3 times. Discuss why shifting blame on someone else doesn't help. It never does. It just teaches people not to be accountable for their actions and then continue to do more messed up things. Ask children if they're familiar with the phrase, hold your tongue. Yes. I've heard it so many times, I still don't understand what that means, because I can't physically hold my... What do you mean, hold my tongue back? I can't shrink it to my own mouth and... Oh, they don't mean that literally. They just mean be mindful of the thoughts that you say before you say them. But as somebody that takes things literally, and as most people don't understand how my mind works, they're just like, there's something wrong with you. You're not wrong, per se. It's just the way that you labeled it that made me feel off. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with... I am a heart patient. But what do you mean? You didn't know that. You couldn't tell that through my clothes. It's all on my head, not my chest, right? Well, heart, because it is. Back to the point. Ask children if they're familiar with the phrase, hold your tongue. It makes for a good visual. Sure it does. See if they can connect it to the idea of think before you speak. Nah. I'm 27. It took me a minute. To help children put this idea into practice, suggest that the next time they're about to say something cruel or hurtful to somebody else, they take a deep breath instead and count to 5 in their head. And after thinking about it, can they come up with a better, kinder way to say what they feel? Or could they decide to say nothing else? Honestly, if they would have ever given me that option, I would have been amused most of my existence, because it's not that I couldn't have thought of anything nicer. My thought process of speaking the way I speak is I'm trying to speak to get things across. So by putting in quote unquote nicer words, I don't think my point's going to get across. But also, I don't feel like I didn't have. Plus, also, I didn't feel like back then I had the words to even learn how to say it nicer. I was just like, I called a spade because I know what the. I called a spade because I didn't know what a shovel was. We're not talking about cards. Back to the point. Words that hurt. Oof, 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 oof. I've got 2 more pages. Words are not for hurting, hands are not for hurting, hands are not for hitting, teeth are not for biting. Other great books from Free Spirit. Oh, this book was from Minneapolis, I think. but it's from Free Spirit Publishing Inc. I need to look up their books. I run with them hard. I think the same lady writes. Well, the same lady that wrote "Words are not for hitting" also wrote "Teeth are not for biting," and then somebody else wrote "Hands are not for hitting" and hands are not for hitting and hands are not for hit. There's two different versions. What? What am I missing? That's an off-camera thing to focus on, Ethan. Where was I at? Words that hurt, sticks and stones. There is an old saying that children may be familiar with. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There's my twist to it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will leave psychological damages that I'll have to deal with later in life and probably pay a therapist for. That's too long. And whether they believe it's true, can words hurt? Yes. Why or why not? What are some examples of hurtful words? Name calling? Oh, you ugly. Teasing? Ha ha, you can't tie your shoes. Etc. Talk about how it feels to be teased or yelled at or called a rude name. To take this further, talk about how it feels to tease others. Does this lead to positive feelings? Why not? No, it does not lead to positive feelings. It might lead you to an early grave. What does that mean? You might be able to see your favorite grandparent, your favorite uncle, your favorite aunt, your favorite family member that went to the other side, that went to a farm. Whatever euphemism that people use to tell you people die and don't come back the same way that they came the first time, second time. I don't know. It all depends on what you believe in. So many things. Sticking up for yourself. Talk about the importance of sticking up for yourself. They will fight you, but be willing to fight to defend yourself. Not all of them will fight you. When someone says something hurtful and for sticking up for others who are teased as well, offer examples of ways to do this, such as words are not for hurting. I'm just reading the book at this point. Or that hurts my feelings. Or please stop saying things like that. I'm gonna leave my input out of this. Let children know that another option is to find a grown-up who can help. Key on a grown-up who can help, because some grown-ups don't. Ask them to name some adults they can go to for assistance, because not all adults are helpful. Parents, sometimes. Grandparents, sometimes. Or other relatives, teachers, child care providers, and babysitters, and so on. Make sure you can trust them. Make sure they love you, care about you. Make sure. Because sometimes you'll tell them things and nothing will ever change. That's kind of like work from an adult's point of view. Find the people that listen to you, not the people that's like, I heard you, but nothing changes. I don't know what the difference is, but you'll figure it out for yourself eventually. Trial and error. We got this. A word to grown-ups. Young children are like sponges, I know, soaking up everything around them, I know. They listen to our words even when we think they aren't listening, I know. They may overhear grown-ups yelling, cursing, gossiping, criticizing. Yelling! I've been cursing on and off this whole entire video. I'm not even going to do it. Gossiping. Oh my, did you hear about Tina's new shoes? Her boyfriend ain't going to like that. Criticizing. This is all you could do? I left you here for 6 hours and this is all you could do. Oh my, what am I even paying you for? Get off my site. I could do this myself. What the flip did I leave off? Criticizing, or using words in other hurtful ways. Yeah, you know what? Those shoes were your shoes yesterday, but today, it just ain't it. It just ain't it. Where did I leave off? As adults, we can make an effort to choose words that are kind, loving, and peaceful. If we slip up, we can acknowledge it, apologize, and let children know what we'll try harder next time. I'm pretty sure I didn't leave off there. Screw it. I'll reread back a little bit. They may overhear grown-ups yelling, cursing, gossiping, criticizing, or using words in other hurtful ways. Children may then imitate. Children may then imitate. Children may then imitate. Children may then imitate. You can learn a lot about a family just by watching their child. I don't know if there's any better way to word that aside from the way that I did, but I'm not. I know what I mean, but with the words I say, either way, you can learn a lot about a family just by watching their offspring. And sometimes their offspring is not a good example of how the family runs. It really all depends. There's no one size fits all for anything, honestly. It's a one size fits for most in life and reality from what I've learned and experienced. Children may then imitate what they hear. As adults, we can make an effort. We can make an effort. We can make an effort. As adults, we can make an effort. We can make an effort to choose words that are kind, loving, and peaceful. Kind, loving, and peaceful. And if you're wondering why I'm repeating myself, it's because some people don't get what I'm saying. So I'm making sure for the things I want you to get, you're choosing to not understand what I'm saying. Can make an effort to choose words that are kind, loving, and peaceful. If we slip up, we can acknowledge it, apologize. If we slip up, we can acknowledge it, acknowledge, which is, oh, I am aware I said something wrong. I'm sorry. I will not do that again. Meaning that that's what acknowledging is. Being aware of what you said, how hurtful it could be, or how hurtful it is, because there's a could and then there is. And then saying, I am sorry, and then not doing it again. The biggest part is not doing it again. Sometimes for others, the biggest part is apologizing. Sometimes for others, the biggest part is acknowledging it. Some people might apologize, never acknowledging it. Some people might say sorry, never acknowledging it, or changing it. So it's just know who you're working with. Plain and simple, know who you're working with. And if you don't know, either spend the time to learn or just run as fast as possible. And don't look back. Bad words. In your classroom or home, you probably have rules against using bad words. Swearing, for example. I've already done enough of that. Children may swear to express anger, to test their boundaries, or simply. Because I don't know what a safe children swear is, because even as a child, I was saying adult swear. So we're gonna leave that room for interpretation. Because they've heard the words from adults in their lives and don't yet realize the effect they have. Talk about how these particular words make others feel upset, angry, embarrassed, uncomfortable. You can help children understand that using inappropriate words has consequences, such as a brief time out. Where's the adult version? I need the adult version. Maybe I should make the adult version. I don't know. Words that help: questions, compliments, I'm sorry. Words for getting help when needed. I've got like a page and a half, and then I'm almost done. Children need to know what asking a question is a great way to find out more, whether they're confused about something or simply curious. Sometimes children hesitate to ask questions because they are shy. Or adults are angry when they answer, so what's the point if this adult's going to be angry too? This is my experience. I don't know. This might be somebody else's experience as well. Or they want to appear confident and knowledgeable. I don't care to be confident and knowledgeable. I'd rather be a stumbling idiot and asking questions compared to pretend I know what I'm doing. But for some reason, those that walk around with arrogance and confidence, regardless if they know what they're doing or not, they make it farther than those that ask questions. And it's mainly because people don't want to answer their questions. So the ones that don't ask questions, well, they didn't care to have answers anyway. So they figure out their own stuff and figure out their own way. Where those are trying to make sure they do it the right way, but there's no right way. There's just your way, from my understanding. They are shy or they want to appear confident and knowledgeable in the eyes of others. Help them understand that asking questions can make them even more confident and knowledgeable, because questions are the key to learning. 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 Role play situations in which children need to ask questions. For example, if they are lost or they need help understanding a task they've been given, or they don't know the rules of a game. From reading this book, it's all I've learned is something I've always had a theory about. Life is just a huge play, and when you become a parent, you have to play many characters. You have to play as a parent, how you become an adult that hopefully is successful in society, how you play the nurse, trying to figure out how to diagnose a child before you get them to where they need to go, where the people could hopefully medicate them and help them be even better. You play the person that knows how to argue and communicate effectively, or you teach your child to be exactly like you. I don't know. I feel like without tooting my own horn, without having a huge ego. If I was to have a carbon copy of myself of this version, or at least growing up, most people wouldn't be upset because I never was trying to be the problem. I was trying to be understood. And one of my coworkers understood the best. He's like, Ethan ain't weird. He's just misunderstood. And I'm like, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. But y'all just gonna laugh because it's funnier to laugh about things than it is to realize that people generally have issues going on. It's like, well, what could I do? Did you even try to do anything? I don't know. I'm a huge fan of laughter. That's how I deal with most of my issues. Back to that point. Or they need help understanding a task they've been given, or they don't know the rules of the game. Pretty sure I read that. Compliments. When others notice our efforts or respond to us positively, we can't help but feel special. Talk about compliments that they are and why they leave others with good feelings. Good feeling inside. Encourage children to offer a sincere compliment. You look nice today. I like your shoes. I've never seen that hat before. Where'd you get that from? Oh my word. It's so beautiful. I wish I had a hat just like that. Where'd you get it from? I do apologize. I'm not giving you time to speak. Back to the point. Encourage children to offer a sincere compliment or to someone else and then to practice responding positively to a compliment. Well, thank you. I don't know. This was a gift, honestly. I don't remember where I got it from. I was shopping around Wally World and it just popped up and screamed at me, so I grabbed it. Positivity to a compliment that they've been given throughout the day. Make a point of offering children encouragement. I appreciate how you don't give up when you work on something challenging. I appreciate how you don't give up when you work on something challenging. Or I like the colors you choose for your drawing because they're so bright and cheery. I actually use that a lot. I love the color of this home. It's warm. The browns, the blues, the greens. It's just, I don't know, it feels homey here. I actually used that recently. It feels homey here. I used that, actually, I think it was, not yesterday, because yesterday was Saturday, but I used it Friday. I had a customer, she was showing this beautiful home, and she was spilling about her client and how basically OCD he is. I'm just like, ma'am, find yourself a new client, respectfully. I know I'm not allowed to give life advice, but he's gonna make you old. He's gonna give you gray hairs. Like, you look fine now. He's gonna make you look like somebody's grandma tomorrow because he be stressing the shit out of her. So hopefully she's able to sell that place because it's a beautiful home. Beautiful. Like, if I only had the finances yet. I'm sorry. Young children are still in the process of learning to take responsibility for their words and actions. Some adults are too. They often need encouragement when it comes to acknowledging a mistake or apologizing for something they've done. Talk about how 2 little words, I'm sorry, can be so important when communicating with others. Point out that apologizing helps. Excuse me for my belching. Communicating with others, burping. Communicating with others, point out that apologizing helps the other person feel better sometimes. Saying sorry can stop an argument sometimes, but realize the people that want to argue will continue. Argument in its tracks or prevent it from getting worse. Have children practice different ways to apologize. They can say, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean what I said. Don't say it again then. Or, can you please forgive me? Sometimes people who have been fighting make peace by shaking hands or giving each other a hug. Talk about why these actions can help. I don't know why a handshake really helps, to be honest. Because I'm trying to think of times that I've had disputes with people verbally and we've just apologized. 9 times out of 10, I feel like we just said, or I just said, or something like that. And we just walked our opposite ways. I don't remember many apologies or ending in handshakes or hugs. Is this my way of learning I'm not around healthy people often? Message. I don't know. I don't know. Most of my arguments, either we walk the opposite way and get over it, or we just don't ever communicate again because of X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and I'm fine with it. Words for getting help. Getting help when needed. Help children understand that there are times when we may need to use our voice or words and our body language to tell others no. Children who practice saying the word no or who role play taking actions are more likely to stand up to the for. Actually, I want to pause this for a hot second. The importance of the no. No is a full sentence. No means no. No, it does not matter if it makes them feel icky when you are saying no, as in you do not want to partake. You want to keep your boundaries the way that they are. You do not want to play their game. It is all right. Who cares? No is a full sentence. No should be respected. No should be heard. And if it's not, hey, do what's best. If they don't respect you, they don't respect you. So why are you respecting them? Do what you want with that information. I'm not going to feed you anymore. Past that. Children who practice saying the word no or who role play taking action are more likely to stand up for themselves. If they do face a situation in which they need help from a grown up, give each child a chance to act out asking for help in an emergency or in an uncomfortable situation. We need a book where what if the adult is the problem? Because this is all I'm thinking about every time it says, go to a trusted adult, go to a trusted... What if one, the adult's the problem, two, the adult is friends with the trusted adult, so they're not going to believe you to begin with, so it's just like, who do you go to next? I don't know, I'm trying to create a dark world that exists in some people's worlds, but hopefully, because I don't know everybody's world, hopefully isn't a shared world, all that shared. I don't know. I know a lot of people are traumatized. What children can do if there is a fighting at home. When there is fighting at home, think of a safe place to go when the fighting starts. Make a plan to get to that safe place quite quickly. Mother flipper, Ethan. Think of a safe place to go when the fighting starts. Make a plan to get to that safe place. Maybe my head's getting hot. That's why. I know my body's getting hot. I want to strip this off. I'm almost done. In that safe place, you can draw, read, or play quietly. If you don't feel safe, you can use the telephone to call 911. The person who answers will ask you how they can help. You can tell the person your name and address, if you know it, and say that there is a fight going on in your home. Find a grown-up you trust and talk to that person about the fighting. This person can be an aunt or uncle, a grandparent, a teacher, a neighbor, a teacher, a caregiver, or a leader at your place of worship. Every time I read something about that, I'm just like, they could be wrong, they could be bad, they could be bad, they could be bad. I've heard all these stories. Yelling and fighting in my home, I'm scared, can you help? What adults can do if there is fighting at home. Call 911, call a local shelter or domestic abuse hotline. Talk with someone who can help, a family counselor, a social worker, a therapist, or a member of the clergy. Your child's school counselor may also be a resource for you. Wow! If cost is an issue, it is possible to find low cost or free services. Keep looking until you find a person or an organization that meets your needs. I think it's the keep looking until you find someone or something that meets your needs is the most vital part about that whole entire half paragraph. Because it's like you could find somebody for now, but are they the person that you need, or they're just the quickest and the fastest person that you found? As somebody that has settled or went for like, oh, this is the first one. This fucking sucks. I should have kept shopping. Back to the point. Stay with friends or relatives while you're getting the help you need. I'm not reading this no more. I'm done. I made it. I'm about 5 minutes over. This is 52. I said about 45 or something like that. I don't think I showed the last 2 pages because I was like, oh, this is a lot of reading. I don't want to deal with it. It really wasn't much color this show. It was mainly a lot of white, a little bit of photos, but... So, I need to find another kid's book because I didn't miss a Sunday and I need to make it up. Now, it's going to bother me. When am I going to make it up? I don't know. I want to try to make it up today, but I also don't want to do it right now. So if I make it up today, yay. If I don't, maybe I could put my library card to use. I don't even know. I know I have a good collection of books. And I've at least read 3 kids' books. One was The Dinosaur. 2 of them was an ABC, and then this one. And I say 2 of them were ABC because they were different in countless of ways. Size, images, and what they're going through, so I figured why not. And then why not? That was my main thing. And then this one is my 4th book. Yeah, fourth children's book, not 4th book in general. Who cares? Who am I doing this for aside from me in the future? So Words Are Not for Hurting by Elizabeth Verdick, and then illustrated by Marika Hinelin. I don't know, I'm definitely butchering it. Love the book. I personally believe it should be all schools, shit, even the middle schools. I don't know. And I don't know. I might even look up to figure out the other couple books, and I might actually purchase some books just so I can read them instead of just finding them off of work. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just doing it because there was a part of me that wanted to have kids. I still don't know if that's going to be an option for me. I don't even know if I can have kids. I just know I'd be doing whatever I want to, and sometimes there's consequences to it, and sometimes I just don't think about it. But at one point, I wanted kids. Now I'm just like, I can help kids without having kids. I can do a lot of things without being in the group or in the system or in this or in that. And if reading is helpful, even if it's not even the kids, even if it's just adults that have reading disabilities that are just listening to me, I don't care. I'm not a fan of reading to begin with. So the fact I'm doing this, at least in my head, I'm doing it for a good reason, for those that can't read, for the kids possibly, or just even for people who are just bored and want some simple entertainment. I don't know. I'm just doing it because it gives me something to do at the end of the day, more or less, compared to just vegetatingly doom scrolling on social media all the time. So when you say that there's nothing to do, well, that's because you're choosing to do nothing. There's always something to do, but don't want to do it. I don't know. Thank you for listening to this book. And the goal is at some point or another, I'll have 12 books read. And so far, I'm book 3 and I'm missing one.